speech is Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover. Help me welcome Ken.
You've probably all heard the expression, don't drown yourself in drink. Have you heard that? Well, I found out you can't. I tried. You float. Don't start a speech with a joke. But there's another thing you could learn from drink. You could learn not to judge a book by its cover. Had you been with me on a trip to Munich, you might have learned that lesson as I did. I was in Munich for a scientific conference, and on our day off, I couldn't resist going to the famous beer garden in Munich. That's in one of the large downtown parks that's supposed to be one of the sights to see. I got down there and saw enormous German men, and I mean enormous guys, big bellies, blonde-haired, red-faced, wearing those leather pants and the suspenders, lederhosen. You know, you ever seen that typical Munich dress? Wearing those little hats with the feathers in them, all of them drinking beer out of pitchers and partying, and I'm thinking, oh man, this is someplace. Sort of like a beer party at a fraternity. Well, anyway, I walked to the counter to order a beer, did my best, won, and it came in a delicate Pilsner glass. A Pilsner glass is the kind that starts narrow and sort of expands at the top. I tasted that beer, and it was so delicate and subtle and flowery that I thought, wow, this is something special. And it was Lowenbrau beer, which you can get here, but it didn't taste the same. It tasted so complex, at the same time subtle and flowery. I looked at those men and I thought, how could those guys appreciate a beer like this? Another sip. I concluded you can't judge a book by its cover. One look at those guys does not tell you they had the ability to really enjoy a subtle, fine beer. Now, you know that saying, you can't judge a book by its cover, and sometimes it's literally true. For example, the book, How I Turned $500,000 into $500,000. You can't judge a book like that by its cover. There's got to be something in there, right? Or the book, Money Will Make You Rich. Now, you can't judge that book by its cover. There's got to be something. It would never be such a bestseller. And my favorite, How to Be Your Best Friend Without Getting Emotionally Involved. There's got to be more to that book. I'd say don't judge that book by its cover. But, you know, drinking and reading have something in common. I read in another book somewhere that alcohol will not solve your problems. But come to think of it, milk won't either. And then I also read about the evils of drinking, and I thought, I'm going to give up reading. I'll take care of that. But the evils of drinking, I know the evils of red wine. I really do. You remember my friend Nina, the German girl in the Tango Surrender story? Well, you remember her, right? She's very outspoken, very direct. We were having a glass of red wine together in my apartment, standing on my Turkish hand-dyed carpet. We were standing there talking, and it turned towards politics. And of course, Nina, being German and outspoken, got really excited and started saying, Ken, you shouldn't say that about Europeans. You shouldn't think that. And I'm watching that red wine. She said, you know, and all I'm thinking is, red wine on my carpet. I said, Nina, give me that. In that case, I was able to judge that book by its cover. And and that book said, The Evils of Red Wine by I Am Clumsy. So, don't judge a book by its cover. I learned that in Germany. Very important lesson. Don't drink red wine on my carpet. Very important. And continue to read. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken.
Point of clarification, Madam Toastmaster. Do we have all the speakers for this meeting?
Yes.
I was late today, so I don't know whether you guys had enough speakers.
You're on.
You're on.
Okay. Just want to make sure, because if you guys already have